Yeah, absolutely. I have a couple of common mistakes that I've seen people make over and over and over. Would you like me to go into those?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So let's do it. So I think the first thing that I see, and this is more common with people who are entrepreneurs beforehand, is that they think real estate investments work exactly like businesses. And that's
Mm.
completely wrong because in businesses, you have unlimited upside potential and you can turn something out of nothing. Whereas in real estate, by the time that you pay for something and buy the property, your deal has already been decided.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Lillian Chen, who is the founder of Proptimal. They're giving institutional resources to everyday real estate investors. So we have a lot to get into. Thank you for being here, Lillian.
Thank you so much for having me, Kristen.
I would love for you to talk about your very impressive background.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I did was I am trying to provide these institutional knowledge and tools and resources to the everyday developer because I got the formal financial training at Berkeley and Oxford. And then on top of that, the institutional level company job training as well. And so I started off as a financial analyst. And when I became an independent consultant, at first we're serving large companies with $1 billion of asset under management. But then as I continued to gain clients, I realized that, wow, the majority of the real estate market is just small and medium-sized developers and brokers and service providers that didn't get all the resources that I have, but they were so impressive that they managed to achieve so much with so few people and resources as well. What I also realized is there is a huge gap in what I can provide them to make their lives a little bit easier. And that's why Proptimal was born.
That's incredible. Yeah, you definitely have that very formal experience going to Oxford and going to Berkeley. It's really impressive. At what point did you really make the leap and start developing this?
For Proptimal?
Yes.
So I would say that was my second year of being an analyst. And the turning point was that I realized that I already had everything that I ever wanted: a dream job, a decent salary, meaningful work, working on a couple of master plans and developments. That's super exciting. But part of me still felt like something was missing, and I wanted to venture out and start my own thing. So that's how Proptimal was started. In the midst of COVID in 2020, I took the leap of faith and started Proptimal. At first, just as a freelance consultant, and the rest is history.
Amazing. Well, I think it's really interesting because real estate in general, but specifically investing, it's one of those industries where everybody's an entrepreneur, everyone's kind of doing it themselves, and there's not really like a formal corporate ladder to learn from. So I agree with you that there's a lot of gaps where people probably don't have the formal training for things. Like, what are some things that you see come up over and over that you wish more real estate investors knew?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors, working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, I think some of the things is that I realize business owners have a completely different mindset from institutional investors. Business owners and real estate developers are a lot better at taking risks. And sometimes they shut off the part of the brain that says, hey, this probably isn't a good idea and you could lose all your money, but they go ahead and do it anyway. And I think in some sense, that's what makes them so successful because they're not afraid of taking the risks that other people shy away from.
Definitely. Yeah. And like, as far as, this practical knowledge, give us some examples of the things that, you guys provide that you think a lot of people miss out on.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we provide first. What we provide is 3 different things. So as I talked about, the knowledge, the tools, and the resources. So the knowledge is where I really want to put education as a huge focus on teaching people not just, hey, here's how you get rich and make money. Or on the flip side, here's how to run a DCF and here's how you write your Excel formulas. I want to build something that's kind of in the middle where people get the technical knowledge through practical examples. So they're not just learning things from a textbook, they're also able to apply it as well.
Oh.
The second part is the resources. The tools. So with the tools, we're building the 10X Analyst, which is a software that allows anyone to build financial models, even if they have no modeling experience at all. And then the third would be our services that we provide, because at the end of the day, when people are working on deals, they still want a real person to be able to verify what they're doing and ensure that they're in the right direction.
Yeah. And like with your services that you provide, what are you exactly like analyzing? What are you helping people accomplish with their deals?
Yeah. So my background is in acquisitions. And I think when it comes to real estate underwriting and the entire deal cycle, the acquisition is the most important part because if you misunderstand a deal and overpay for the deal, there's very little that you can do to turn a bad deal into a good deal. So we come in earlier in the process and then help people under whether or not they should even buy the deal, and if so, how much to pay for it. And that was our service for the past couple of years. And now we're transitioning that into a more holistic system on a platform.
That's incredible. And I imagine like each market is different. How do you kind of adapt to people's markets?
That's a really good question. I think when it comes to real estate, the differentiating factor that makes somebody good is definitely how well they understand their market. And it wouldn't work for us to be able to claim that we're the experts of every market. So instead, our value proposition is very different. It's that we're giving you the frameworks and knowledge to position you in a place where you can understand how to think, right? We're not just giving you knowledge. We're teaching you how to think like an institutional investor. We're teaching you how to think like somebody who understands finance and all the numbers and moving parts behind a deal. So then you can go and adapt those kind of knowledge into whatever situation that you come across and understand the deals that you're making and how that impacts your deal.
Definitely. And I would love for you to talk about, so you kind of developed this in the middle of the AI boom. And I would love for you to just talk about in general how that affected your business plan and, AI, how it's being utilized in the real estate market.
That's such a good question. I would say AI played such a crucial role in helping us develop this software because when I first started, I didn't have as much idea of what I wanted to build. I had a vague idea of what an analyst does, and I have a strong desire to automate a lot of that and effectively clone myself so I can help more people, but I didn't understand where the available options out there.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors. and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Especially that the AI landscape is changing on a week by week basis,
Yeah,
right? So with AI, the most powerful thing that I did was I use AI not just as a automation tool, but a learning partner where I used AI to learn everything I needed to know about technology. And then fast forward, now I'm coding the entire backend on what the real estate export is going to look like. And what that does is it allows somebody who has really good real estate experience to step in and start developing software. Whereas in the past, it wouldn't have been possible because most of the software were developed by people who work in tech who know nothing about real estate.
totally. And what are you seeing just in general with the real estate market? Like, do you think people are utilizing these tools enough?
That's another really good question. I am actually going to be giving a presentation on real estate and AI, but the main takeaway for that is that I think most people are fine. They are not going to get left behind, and not adopting AI is not going to kill their business. Because at the end of the day, what makes somebody a good real estate developer isn't how much they use AI. Like, if you have 20 years of track record and 20 years of relationship, just because you're using AI to automate 80% of your business doesn't do anything. And on the flip side, if you're a real estate developer who's completely new, no track record, no experience, and no idea on how the business works, it doesn't matter that you're using AI to automate your entire business. People are still not going to trust you. So
Yeah,
I think the panic is a little bit overhyped.
right.
Now, what I would say is that if you're a new investor or if you're still early on in your career and you want to establish that credibility and become somebody who will succeed regardless, use AI to learn as much as possible. Because if you think about it, in the past, we have to go to a library and we have to, through those index stores and find the right book and read every single book to find the resources that we need. Today, it's at our fingertips in a way that's so digestible that there really is no excuse for anyone to not know anything.
Totally. Yeah. No, I think you phrase it really well because I think there's also a lot of people who are very adamant about people are going to get left behind. But
Yeah.
you're right. The skills needed to develop it's a little bit different. And then I would love to just talk to you about in general scaling this business. I mean, it's so impressive building this from scratch and being able to scale. What have been some of like the learning lessons through building this platform? What if like maybe something that went wrong and you learned from?
I can tell you that actually in 2022, which is about 2 years after I started Proptimal, I had a burnout and I actually closed the business down for an entire year to do my MBA. The reason for that was the service business model doesn't scale. So at first, actually for the first 2 years of business, we didn't do any marketing at all. And yet we were completely booked, right? And so that was the moment where I realized, I think we're onto something. There's so much demand for what I do. And people are willing to pay for my skill set, even though I was still pretty junior in my career. And then as a result, I was trying to expand my business by hiring other financial analysts. And then I finally got onto the other side of the table where I realized, my goodness, it is so hard to find a good financial analyst. And even if you find someone, you need to spend at least a year training them for them to be good enough to not have to be managed constantly.
Yeah.
So then I thought about it and thought, if I am somebody who is doing this full time and I run a full-time real estate service agency and I can't find enough good financial analysts,
Mhm.
how are other people doing it, right? So I couldn't figure it out. I didn't have the knowledge and a tech background at that time to understand what is possible. And also,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
AI was not as advanced at that time to be able to allow me to do what I'm able to do today. So that was a hard lesson. It's realizing that the service agency model for financial analysts doesn't really scale. And if I wanted to scale it, it would have been at the expense of all my customers because I would need to charge them a lot more for services that are performed by someone who is more junior than me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a great reason to get into it. And you're really helping people. You're kind of helping even the playing field a little bit. Absolutely. And what are
Yeah,
your
completely.
plans? Yeah. What are your plans to scale this? What are you looking ahead at?
So that's an interesting question because truthfully, in startup world, nobody knows. And I
Right.
think we're all playing it one step at a time. And I definitely don't think I have all the answers. And the moment that I think that I have all the answers, I'm probably done, right? So I think having that humility to know what I don't know is very important. But what I can say is that we're launching the first version of this platform next week, actually. So end of September in 2025. And I'm very excited to see where that goes.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really exciting. And I would love for you to just talk about in general in the real estate investing world, just things that you've seen being on the financial analyst side, like strengths and weaknesses, like maybe like practical tips somebody can, go and like readjust what they're doing.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I have a couple of common mistakes that I've seen people make over and over and over. Would you like me to go into those?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So let's do it. So I think the first thing that I see, and this is more common with people who are entrepreneurs beforehand, is that they think real estate investments work exactly like businesses. And that's completely wrong because in businesses, you have unlimited upside potential and you can turn something out of nothing. Whereas in real estate, by the time that you pay for something and buy the property, your deal has already been decided. There's not much that you can do after that. So
Right.
that's the first thing. The second thing is that people don't understand the concept of risk-adjusted returns. They only understand returns, right? So from someone let's say you have a financial background, the way that I think about things is this return worth it for the amount of risk that I'm taking? So for example, if I tell you, hey, I have an investment and it's going to be 13%, is that good or bad, right? We don't know because am I getting 13% from investing in the bonds market or am I getting 13% for investing in cryptocurrency, right? So we don't understand the risk profile, then we can't tell if a return is good or not. And what I've realized is people take on excessive risk because they look at the IRR and they go, wow, this is an amazing deal. And then I would come in and remind them, hey, by the way, you're taking a lot of risk here. This could go wrong. This could go wrong. This could go wrong. So your expected value of getting that return makes the return lower, and you should adjust for that. The third thing that I would say that people get wrong a lot of the times is they don't think about the market enough. So, for example, when the deal goes wrong, they like to credit themselves for their excellent ability to operate the deal. But when the deal doesn't go right, then they start to blame the market. The interest rate rose, the market turned, whatever. And I think in both cases, whether their deals go right or go wrong have a lot to do with how the market is doing. And a lot of that has to do with chance. So people underestimate that. And the people who do understand that it's more important to protect your downside than to shoot for the upside. And that's how people last in the real estate industry.
Totally. Well, I mean, that's all such great practical advice for people. You obviously have such an expertise in your field. Tell people where to find you and where to find Proptimal.
Absolutely. I post regularly on LinkedIn. I write thought leadership articles on commercial real estate, entrepreneurship, and of course, technology. And if there's anything that I can help with, please send me a message or go to proptimal.com and you can find us there.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. I think that you taught people a lot just about, maybe what they're missing and what they need to implement in their business.
Absolutely. It's been a privilege to be on here, and I hope this has been helpful and appreciate you for having me on.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lillian. And then thank you, everybody else, for listening. And we will see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.